Most people live trapped in their heads, overthinking, replaying the past and fear the future. But what if I told you that peace that you're actually searching for isn't in your next achievement, relationship or breakthrough, but in every single moment of your life? In today's video, I'm just gonna break down 7 life-shifting lessons from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book is one of the most powerful ones that I've read in my life. You might be asking yourself, what's the book is about? The Power of Now is a spiritual guide that actually delivers one core truth: your peace of mind, joy, and freedom, that you can actually only find that in your present moment. The author explains that most of our pains from being trapped in the mind, either stuck or past or anxious or about the future. So the path to transformation isn't found in thinking harder, it's found in learning how to be still, to become aware, and to live the fully of now. So without further ado, let's just dive into it. The first one, you're not your thoughts. Most people don't use their minds use them. You are not the voice in your head, you are the one actually listening to it. This is the starting point of real freedom, becoming the observer of your mind instead of the thinker. When you start watching the thoughts that come and go in your mind, you just break the cycle of compulsive, unconscious thoughts. When you step back, you just create that space that is just like the present. That is just space that just brings the peace. So when the mind starts racing, just say, that's my mind just going again, It's just the thoughts coming and going. Just watch it, just don't fight for it. The second one, pain comes from resisting the present. Most suffering isn't caused by the moment itself, but you're resistant to it. You want things to be different. You mentally argue with reality, and that fight creates tension, stress, and pain. When you actually accept the moment, even if it's just when it feels uncomfortable, you step out of resistance and get into peace. It's just try that in a difficult moment that you have in your life. It's just I allow myself just this moment just to be exactly as it is. You feel how your mind is gonna shift, but bear in mind that you can actually just do something like that with the things that you can actually control. If there's something you can control, that is just you cannot do anything about it. So just focus on the things that you can actually change, you can actually control. So number 3, the mind can't solve the pain that it's created. We have been told that to think our way out of everything, but overthinking is the problem. Your mind can't just fix the pain it's actually created, because it doesn't want you to lose control. You don't need more thinking, you need more presence, more stillness, more space. It's just when that happens in your life, when you're just feeling overwhelmed, just stop thinking and just breathe. Through the body, presence is just where the solution. That's why meditation is one of the most important things that you can actually do. It's just to take control of your body. So if you want to start meditation, I definitely recommend you to do that, because one of the best things to actually have control of your life, to know how your body works and actually understand what's going on just around you. It's just that moment between you and yourself that you can actually concentrate in your breath, just the simple things of your body. Number 4, the future is just a reflection of the past. So if you're not present now, you just bring the past into your future. The future is just often just the past dressed up in just new clothes. The patterns repeated to the present breaks the cycle. It's just when that happens, just try something just ask yourself, where am I going? Where I am now? Transformation doesn't happen in time, it's just happens right now. I know you have got big plans for the future. I also have many of them. But for your plans to become a reality, you gotta act today. So that's why it's so important to be fully present. Just stop thinking about the future, it's just start acting today. That's just gonna make so much difference in your life. Number 5, the input trap is real, even spirituality. So I have mentioned that in another video about the input trap. If you have not watched that, the procrastination video that I just made last week, I definitely recommend you to do so. And then you think watching videos, reading books, or listening to podcasts is just progress. But without action, it's spiritual procrastination. The ego loves learning as long as it doesn't lead to real change. If you want to do something different, just set a rule with yourself, no input without output. What I mean by that is just if you learn something today, apply it today. Teach, act, it's just otherwise it's just gonna be so much noise in your mind. Number 6, pain is a portal. Most people run from the pain, but the actor says, when there is no way out, there is no way through. So if you sit with your pain instead of escaping it, you find death, present, and then if you just accept the pain just the way it is, you're just gonna find like the presence with your body, and then you often find God even when it's just like the pain goes through, so avoiding the pain just creates suffering, but facing the pain brings like transformation. That's when you grow, that's when you learn how to endure your body and your mind just to have some big challenges in life. But I can definitely recommend you what the book says. It's just like when you are hurting, stop distracting yourself, sit, breathe, let yourself feel. Don't create like a victim of the history, just like walk through the pain. It's just gonna be so beneficial to you. You're just gonna learn a lot from it, and then the next pain that is just gonna come into your life, you're just gonna be so much easier to get through it. Number 7, pleasure is external, joy is internal. Pleasure is just like temporary and depends on something external, like a meal, a like from someone that you actually like, a compliment. But joy comes from within, from like being fully here. Your peace is tied to the outcomes. You're always like one bad day away from falling apart. But when your joy is rooted in presence, nothing outside can actually take it away. What I recommend you to do is just like practice being present in every single moment. When you're walking, when you're like breathing, when you're just like having a shower, when you're just like having a cup of tea, when you're just like wanna drink water, just like feel the presence of the moment, just be fully there, be fully present. And then these points that I just like told you about, they aren't just like ideas, they're just like tools, and you can actually practice them, so your mind, you quiet down, your peace, you grow. And then when you finally start to feel like you're living your life from the inside out, not chasing it from the outside in. And if you have read The Power of Now, I would love to hear your insights that you got from the book. And then if you haven't like read it yet, I highly recommend you to just pick it up, read it, because even reading like a few pages a day just like it's gonna be a big shift of your life. And if you think one of these lessons just like hit you hard, just drop in the comments so you can actually, the others can actually reflect about it too. I also recorded a video where I'm just like talking about dopamine, where it's just like where I break down how it works and how you can control it. I will just like leave the link here, and then you can actually watch it, So if you like this kind of content, discipline, mindset, purpose, presence, just like hit the subscribe button below and stick around. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.